Good afternoon and happy Independence, Nigeria. This is Society Watch. In this program, we ventilate societal issues, we give them aggregate attention with a view to preferring solutions that will benefit humanity. Let's go through the headlines. Education, growth in numbers, but is quality a question? Healthcare, declining trust in the system. Economy, instability, what is the way forward? And we're going to be talking about security and an unending battle for survival. Remember, we are open for sponsorship of this program, jingles and advert placements, news and events coverage, personality, society and political interviews, product service promotion, and commercials. Watch us live on www.atlanticnetwork.tv. We're also on Avo TV channel 205, Limex TV platform, Ifestec platform, Apple TV, Niger TV, and Iroko TV. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials, subscribe, like, and share. Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1. You can catch us on X on Atlantic TV Net. We go on a break. When we get back, I'll introduce my guest and we'll dive right into this report. Please stay with us.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, social economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. On ATN.
1960 October. Now the battle is over.
As Nigeria marks 65 years of independence, we reflect on the nation's remarkable journey of social development, from expanding education and healthcare to empowering women and youth. This progress is a testament to the resilience and determination of the Nigerian people. From your 1960s to your 1970s, Nigeria's early years were marked by significant social challenges, including high illiteracy rates and limited access to healthcare. Despite these challenges, the seeds of progress were sown with initiatives like the Universal Primary Education Scheme and the National Youth Service Corps. Nigeria invested in social welfare programs, including the Better Life for Rural Women program and the National Directorate of Employment, which expanded access to education, healthcare, and economic opportunities from the 1980s to 1990s. These initiatives empowered women and youth, laying the groundwork for future growth. The return to democracy from 1999 brought renewed commitment to social development with initiatives like the Universal Basic Education Program and the National Health Insurance Scheme. These programs strengthened the drive for free education and made healthcare even more affordable. In the modern era, women and youth have become central to Nigeria's social development. Initiatives like NPower and digital entrepreneurship have created jobs and platforms for innovation. Nigerian women have reached new heights globally, exemplified by Amina Mohamed's leadership in year 2015. From year 1960 to 2025, Nigeria's social development story is one of a steady progress. Despite challenges, the nation has expanded education, strengthened healthcare, empowered women, and given youth a voice. As Nigeria celebrates Independence Day, it is clear that its strength lies in its people, especially its women and youths, who carry the torch of hope and innovation. By harnessing their potential and promoting inclusivity, Nigeria can continue to make strides towards a brighter future.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in
Welcome back, Nigerians, and thank you so much for staying with us on the show. Here with me to dive into this discussion is Owambu Goindubisi. He's a socio-political analyst. We're so glad to have you join us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Let's go right into the report. Happy Independence, Nigeria, and happy 65th celebration. Before we begin, we'll go through a recap of the president's speech. Nigeria marks its 65th independence anniversary today, and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu delivered a message of hope and resilience, celebrating the nation's survival and progress despite decades of social, economic, and political trials. In his speech, the president acknowledged that while the lofty dreams of the country's founding fathers remain a work in progress, Nigeria has made significant strides in economic growth, social cohesion, and development across multiple sectors. Education was a key highlight, with the president pointing out the massive expansion from just 120 secondary schools and 2 tertiary institutions in 1960 to over 23,000 secondary schools, 274 universities, 183 polytechnics, and 236 colleges of education as of 2024. He also cited advances in healthcare, infrastructure, financial services, telecommunications, information technology, aviation, and defense, stressing that Nigerians today enjoy far greater access to basic services compared to the 1960s. While conceding that challenges remain, the president urged citizens to take pride in the nation's resilience and achievements, reminding them that the promise of independence has been tested but never broken. He closed with a call for unity, reflection, and renewed commitment to building a stronger nation for generations to come. Let's talk about what are your thoughts, the overview, having taken a holistic picture of the president's speech. What are your thoughts on this report?
Well, the speech is just, I think he acknowledged the fact that Nigeria is a work in progress, which is how every society is supposed to be.
Right.
And we also have to acknowledge that Nigeria, since independence, Nigeria has made significant progress, as he has said, in education, in financial sector, in health, infrastructure. But the feeling of, the normal feeling of Nigerian, everyday Nigerian, is that Nigeria is not really moving forward. If you compare it to other nations,
okay.
If you compare it to developing nations like Brazil, like India, Ghana, you can even use Ghana as an example. There was Malaysia. There was a time that Nigeria was doing better than all these countries. But today, it seems like Nigeria has taken the back seat of progress.
So you think we have not been progressing, we are rather regressing?
The progress may be, is there. The progress is there. We have incremental progress that has taken place since 1960.
Okay.
But the pace of this progress is what we are not happy about.
Okay.
The way they are ruling the country is not really making us feel the impact of leadership. You know, if you take a look at the naira we have today, our currency, and there was a time Nigerian naira was equal to $1.
Right.
And from then, naira depreciated. Even though it was not as much as it is today, but from that period, from that 1960 till now, you can say that our currency is getting worse. I remember when I was little, when I was in primary school, we used to buy 3 cups of garri with 1 naira. From 1 naira, it climbed to 10 naira. From 10 naira, you know, from 20 naira, and 1 cup, 2 cups. So everything started going down. The naira, the inflation started going up. The financial crisis started moving up instead of going down. So all these things are not progress. The naira depreciating every day is not progress. Now the high cost of living, which I experienced when I was little, I felt that maybe as I was growing up, Nigeria would be getting better, which is how it's supposed to be. But Nigeria is not getting better. As I'm getting, so when will Nigeria get better? I know how old I am now. I have never seen any time Nigeria was, as a Nigerian, I felt like I was living in a progressive country. I've never felt something like that.
But you did say back in the day, I mean, you listed a few countries, Ghana, that we were doing better than them.
Yes.
So when you look at, you know, the concreteness of this speech by the president this morning, will you say that we have made any progress whatsoever?
You cannot say.
Because, of course, he did talk about, we're going to go into education real soon, you know, to talk about where he talked about education, if we have actively progressed. But in the holistic picture, looking at it, will you say, because we were ahead of these countries before, that means we were actually progressing. Now, for you, you said that we are more bothered about the speed of this progress as opposed to if we are progressing or regressing. Right. So which one is it for you? Is it because, are we you know, have these countries come, if I would say so, instead of saying if we're regressing or progressing? Do you think that these countries have now, the countries you listed in your opinion, you know, like Malaysia and Singapore and all of those countries, do you think that they have, you know, surpassed us or moved ahead of us because of our pace rather than because we are not progressing?
They didn't move past us because of our pace.
Okay.
Everybody moves according to his own pace.
Oh, definitely.
Now, politically, you can say that it is the leadership. Everything is determined by leadership. It's determined by politics in every country. Now, it's because of the style, should I call it the style of politics that we are playing here, or the economic policies that our leaders are making, that are setting the country back, or that are slowing the progress of the country a bit, or even far behind other countries. So we have to take a look at how Nigeria is managed, and how the economy is managed, the kind of decisions, the kind of policies we are making, whether these policies are really helping us, or the way we are going about the policies, whether they are good or not. You can't rule a country and believe you are making progress when the people are not feeling the impact of the progress you are making.
Very well. Thank you so much for your insight on that report. Let's talk a bit about Nigeria's education. Nigeria's education sector has seen remarkable expansion from independence, which the president said we've moved from 120 secondary schools and 2 tertiary institutions, which was what was obtainable in the 1960s. But now the country boasts over 23,000 secondary schools and more than 270 universities. You say that is growth. Right. The growth has widened access for millions of young Nigerians, yet challenges of poor funding, dilapidated infrastructure, overcrowded classrooms, and frequent strikes have left quality in the quiescent. Experts argue that unless Nigeria shifts from merely expanding numbers to improving standards, the promise of education as a driver of national progress will remain unfulfilled. Now, when you look at this, right, Nigeria has expanded massively, right, in terms of schools and university. When you look at the figure from having 2 universities in the 1960s to how much we have now, right? But why has this not translated in real time, you know, to jobs, especially for the youths?
Well, you could remember when, at least when we were little,
right,
people that went to school that time used to get jobs. People had opportunities, and we also heard that time that before our own time, before our own generation,
right,
people that went to school in 1940s, 1950s, and 60s, that the government was begging them to take up jobs.
Right.
Now it's not like that. We have to acknowledge that it's as a result of the growing population of Nigerians.
Okay.
So we have more people looking for jobs than the jobs themselves. But now since our educational system,
right,
has expanded, since we have built a lot of schools, why are we not creating something from the knowledge they are giving to us? That means it's from the knowledge, the kind of education the people are getting. If you give people good education, they will use it to create something.
All right.
So the system is not. If you look at how they are teaching in schools, you see that nothing is there. They are not teaching you the main thing you are supposed to know. They're just theory. Everything is theory. And when we talk about theory, what we mean is just explanation,
right,
definitions and explanation. Finish. You see any other thing they are teaching us? We need the practical aspect of anything you are teaching us. If you are teaching us business, give us the practical aspect of it. Or allow people that have been in that field to come and teach the practical aspect of it, even though you are teaching the theoretical aspect. If you look at how America is run, every school, every university in America always recruits somebody that has retired from politics, somebody that has retired from the corporate sector. Do you understand? Recently I read an article where an article that said the former Vice President of America, Mike Pence, had been hired by a school to teach policy making in the Department of Government and Policy Making, to come and teach policies, how to make international policies, foreign policies. So they believe that while he was working as a VP to Donald Trump in his first term, he got knowledge, he got experience. And that's how it is in other departments, like business. They will always go for people that have retired from banks. This person has experience. Come and teach us. But here we allow experienced people to just waste like that. Their knowledge to waste like that. That is not how it is supposed to be. We need the practical experience of that thing you are teaching. If you are teaching computing, we need people that are computer engineers that are doing it,
in the field.
that are doing it.
Right.
Come and teach us. Come and demonstrate it so that our students can learn.
So you think that if we draw the line between technical knowledge, and
Yes.
from when you look at it from academia, usually it's usually the theoretical knowledge people
Yes,
have.
yes.
Right. But now we're hoping to get to see more practical knowledge, and if that is implemented, we'll have a better shift in education as
That
regards
is how it is.
line of work for youths, especially.
If you do it that way, you see this. Everybody will now know that this thing you are teaching is realistic. It can be done out there. You are teaching me business administration. I should be able. It's not just to manage someone's business. I should be able to create a business. If you are teaching me something like physics, I should be able to think something from physics. I should be able to create something. People like Elon Musk, was it not physics that helped them? He read physics, and he was able to use the knowledge he got from physics to think of building a space company,
Right.
SpaceX today.
Now, when you look at this, overview by the president, do you think the government has been focused on expansion over quality?
Yes.
Right, like creating greater systems that produces quantity without value. But put into hindsight also that ASU is about to go on strike again.
Yes.
Right, that is going to affect the students again. Some people have spent for a 4 or 5 year course. Some people have spent up to 7, 8 years in the past just trying to get a single degree. Do you think that we have valued the quantity in the increment from 2 universities to 270 over the quality of the education being given?
Yeah, it's good to build schools,
Okay.
but the focus should be in what those schools are teaching. What are they teaching? What are they going to teach? We are still using. This is how I've seen it. I've been in the system. We are still using old curricula. The old scheme set by colonialists, and the ones set by our forefathers who took over from colonialists.
Oh, in this regime, actually, the curricula was reviewed and a lot of other things.
I know that they have
Right.
removed some things and others, and a lot of things like history. They have made history. I heard that they have made history compulsory.
Right,
They have
even
made,
AI. Yes.
and civic education, which has been there for a few years now. But we still need to focus on practical aspect of what you are teaching. I've always said it. The practical aspect of what you are teaching is very, very important. Anybody that is studying mechanical engineering, he should look for a particular area of mechanical engineering and get practical training on that. If he's a mechanic, send the person to a mechanic shop to go and learn how to repair automobile, how to do other. From there, he can get higher knowledge, additional knowledge to help himself. Anybody that is studying computing or computer science, the person should be sent to something like a cyber cafe or a company or a technology company. Something like Facebook, Google, they have offices here.
The funny thing is, almost every company now uses one form of technology.
But there are some companies that are core technology companies.
Right.
You send them there to learn software development. You are teaching it in school, but how to go about it, the rudiments, the practical aspect of it, you don't do it. Some people don't. Do you know that? In Nigeria, there are some people that study computer science that cannot operate a computer. They have to go to a cyber cafe or a computer institute to learn computer operations.
Do you think that is because of lack of tools as opposed to lack of technical know-how?
Now,
because I did have a show here I think last month, where a lecturer was out there teaching.
Yes.
Code, was teaching software development, but he was writing the code on the board. Now, for me, for a person that has actually learned how to code, right? you want to be seeing the reflection of what you're coding on another screen just as you put in the code.
Yes.
But if a code is written down for you, a code is a programming language,
yes.
right? Looking at the code, you might not even understand what it means if you're not putting it into practice. Now, that's what I'm asking. Do you think this stems from a place of technical know-how as opposed to the fact that even it's possible that the lecturer writing this code is probably, you know, he could be a tech wizard. He could be very brilliant in an office, right? But for the students that are trying to get the skill sets from the lecture, do you think that it is a lack of tools to practice with as opposed to a lack of technical know-how by the teacher?
Even as we try to question the way they are teaching, we need to acknowledge the fact that they are not funded well. Schools are not funded well in terms of infrastructure, in terms of manpower.
But tools have we've had the TED fund, we've had the NEL fund, we've had all of this sort of funding.
We have had them, but are you seeing the impact? The impact is not there. So if they can have, if a school can be well equipped, every school in Nigeria should be well equipped to teach the practical aspect. And then we should make sure that people that are into that business, people that are using, that are into that field in the corporate sector should come and teach the business aspect of it. How can I use my knowledge to start a business?
Not waiting for a job.
How can I use my computer knowledge to start a business when I graduate? How can I use my economics business or political science economics knowledge or political science knowledge to start a company? I was speaking with a family friend, was it last year? I was speaking with him. He just finished his master's in UK.
Okay.
He said he was looking for a job, that he didn't have money. I said, you're looking for a job. Why can't you start a company? He said, well, what do I have to? I want to work. I said, you can actually use your knowledge to start a company. Look at some companies. I mentioned some companies in UK there that are into economic analysis. They analyze economic policies. And government politicians come to them, pay, subscribe. You have, you can start a political campaign company. You do political ads, political advice, political counseling, and all the rest of them. People that are into politics will come and pay. That is how to do it. So, if we can use the knowledge we have in this country, if somebody can come and teach us how we can use that knowledge to start a company, you see that once we graduate, once we finish the program, the next thing that will come to your mind is not looking for a job, is to start a company. Now, but working is not a bad thing. But to have a target, why are you working? If you don't have money to start your business, you can now say, okay, let me work and get money. Or let me work and get more experience. But to say, let me work and make money, you can't make that. The money is not there. The money is not in working. The money is in creating. If you create something, you will make money.
Thank you so much for your insights on that report. Let's talk about healthcare. Now, the president said 65 years ago, Nigeria's healthcare system was small and heavily concentrated in urban areas. Today, facilities and personnel have multiplied with federal, state, and private hospitals scattered across the nation. Now, despite this, citizens continue to lose faith in our system. Underfunding, crumbling infrastructure, and a mass exodus of medical professionals to other countries have weakened healthcare delivery. Medical tourism drains billions annually as Nigerians seek better treatment abroad. Analysts say that while access has grown, trust and quality have steadily declined, leaving the nation's health sector in a crisis at 65. Why do Nigerians continue to distrust local hospitals despite the growth of healthcare infrastructure? Why do you think the Nigerian people, many people have completely lost faith? I don't know if you heard about the journalist that died, and when her boss was talking about, how he thinks she would have been saved if our
Yeah.
medical practitioners are more proactive. We've had cases of, someone getting to the hospital and being told you must pay money first. Even though we have grown, we now have these hospitals scattered everywhere. Why do you think Nigerians still distrust the system?
When people do, especially Nigerians, when people do something or render a service, do a business solely because of the money,
Right.
you see that what they will be giving out will not be good enough. So Nigerians believe that our hospitals don't care about their lives. They don't care about their health. That's why anybody that has money travel. It doesn't mean that we don't trust that they can deliver, even though we have a lot of them that cannot deliver. A lot of people have died because of incompetence. Some of them are not good. But we have
these people,
a lot of them that are good.
When we say some people are not good, were they trained in Nigeria for this practice?
Yes.
These same people,
and that's how it is in every country.
These same people that are not good, are they the same people that are part of the people exodusing to, other civilized nations are making it there?
No. Those people that are not good, they cannot travel because they know that the system there is strict. It's only those that are good, that have ideas, that have skills in what they have studied, that want to travel. And they are traveling, they are leaving the country because they believe that the country doesn't want them to grow. The system is not there for them to flourish. That's why they are leaving. So the ones that are not good, now this brain drain, why is it that the countries that are causing this brain drain, they are not tapping everybody? It's not everybody they are collecting. They are collecting the ones that are good and leaving the rest for us. Now, when they get there, you begin to see that these people are good. And our system, our education system, in terms of health, I believe the education, our universities are trying in the field of health. We have to acknowledge that. Because they have been training, they have been dishing out, churning out good doctors. That means they are doing something good. They are doing it right. So we want them to replicate that in every other field, so that everybody can be well skilled, well equipped with the right knowledge.
Right. Now we talked about brain drain. How serious do you think this impact of brain drain has been with doctors and nurses living in Nigeria, especially on our healthcare delivery? When you look at it, someone goes to the hospital, you have maybe 2 doctors attending to maybe 40 different people.
Yeah.
How impactful has this brain drain been to our healthcare systems?
Now, I don't really believe that we have short of doctors.
Oh, some hospitals have come out. Some hospitals have even gone on strike because they need more personnel. So we actually do have that problem going.
Now, some people, you can see that some people that studied medicine, I know some people that studied medicine that don't want to practice medicine. They left the field entirely. And just as it is in every other, but this is a critical area that if you know that it's not your call, it's not your calling, it's not your, you don't have the zeal to be there, don't go there. When we train you, when we finish training you, you should be able to go there and save lives. And so now, some people that are leaving need to be discouraged from leaving.
How do you discourage people from leaving?
Now, how do we discourage them? By giving them, now, what do you want? Just like these people that are the lecturers that are going on strike, there is something they have been trying to achieve. There is something they have been telling you to give to them. Why can't we give it to them and see what happens? They are clamoring for good infrastructure, the payment of arrears, all the rest of them. Why can't we give it to them and see, and now give them, give them a lofty, a big goal to achieve? I want you to do this within 10 years. I want you to do this within 20 years. I want you to produce people that can do this, can do that within this number of years. You see that anybody will be, will be motivated to work.
Right. Thank you so much. So now, what reforms could restore confidence and reduce the billions spent yearly on medical tourism? Someone has an accident, and when this person, is involved in the accident, the family, everybody's grappling around looking for money to send the person to what country? India. Or they're looking for a way to send. How do we improve our systems? Now, you've talked about, giving them what they want, but Nigeria is a borrowing state. When we say, most of the time, we're always, borrowing from one country or the other to fund infrastructure, and there's usually no money, as is described. We're trying to pay back some loans, all the things that the government has going on. But for whenever a government official is sick, it's quick to get to the UK. Whenever there is headache, it's quick to get to the UK. That is not exactly the reality for all Nigerians, but for, the upper class Nigerians and some people a little bit. Right now, the inflation has made us, barely see the middle class people. But, well,
everybody now.
Inflation has made it a little difficult to see the middle class people. But you find out that even the people that do not have, come online to solicit, please, we need funding to send so person to India for treatment. What can we do to reduce this exodus of people spending billions of dollars abroad? Because of course you're not going to spend naira when you go, so they're spending millions of naira and millions of dollars and billions of naira abroad. How do you think we can bridge this gap?
Well, the people that are supposed to do that are the ones traveling abroad. Are you getting it? The people that are supposed to do something to make sure that nobody travels outside the country for treatment, for other things, for rest, or to eat corn or to eat yam, something like that. They are the ones doing it. They are the ones committing it.
Now, let me take you back a little bit to what we just finished talking about. We've said that many Nigerians, according to you, the very great minds are the ones that are being drained from the Nigerian system. Now, do you think that there is a high possibility that when these people that go abroad to still spend money to treat themselves are actually still being treated by the majority of Nigerians?
Yes, that's the truth.
So why can't we keep this money within the economy?
No, the problem of Nigeria is multifaceted. The reason why people are living is we have a lot of reasons why people are living. People are leaving the country because of insecurity. People are leaving the country because of the way the economy.
But is it insecurity now? I do agree with you, but insecurity is not a reason for me to go abroad for medical care.
We were talking about generally people that are living.
No, I was talking about people that leave Nigeria for medical treatment abroad.
And yes, the best thing we can do is to invest in our health sector. Is to create is to bring in the right infrastructure and to pay them well. If you pay them more than what they are paying in Canada, in UK, and Australia,
can Nigeria afford it?
Nigeria can afford it. If Nigeria has money, I believe that Nigeria.
You believe that Nigeria has money, but you do know that we borrow.
Now, this is Africa.
Okay.
If you talk about Africa, the African economy now, Nigeria is number 1 and number 2. So, what Nigeria use is a financial strength, the economic strength, to help itself, to power every sector. They have the money. The money that they waste during elections, only during elections. They're not talking about other monies, which they spend when they go out, travel outside the country. Only the money they spend during elections. That's enough. The one they will just give one person, one structure to deliver. Is it not enough to make Nigeria a better place? Then you talk about other things. Nigeria has enough money to make sure that everything is working for the betterment of Nigerians.
Right.
But the people that are supposed to do it, I don't know, the way they, and everybody has a way of leading. Everybody has a way of...
The leadership style.
Everybody has his own leadership style.
Right.
I don't know whether it's their leadership style. They should change their leadership style. The way they are, or their worldview, or their values, the way they see running an economy, or the way they see running a business. They should change and make things better, put the right things in place so that Nigeria can move forward. Nigeria is not really moving, even though we have made some progress. Nigeria is not really moving forward. This is not where we are supposed to be.
Right.
That is the truth.
Thank you so much for your insight on that report. We'll talk about economy. Instability, what is the way forward? Now, Nigeria's political journey since independence has moved from colonial rule through decades of military dictatorship, right, to a democratic system that has endured for over 25 years. Citizens today enjoy freedom unthinkable in the early 90s. However, governance has been undermined by corruption, electoral malpractice, and weak institutions. While transitions of power have become more regular, public trust in leadership remains dangerously low. At 65, Nigeria's democracy has provided stability and space for civic participation, but the dividends of good governance remain out of reach for millions. Is corruption in Nigeria a failure of leadership, when you look at it, or a failure of democratic institutions themselves? Is this whole corruption? Many people will say the reason we are here is because of corrupt practices, right? Do you think it is a failure of leadership in itself?
Well, yes. First of all, we need to acknowledge that it's a failure. It's a failure of leadership. Because if our leaders were doing well, they wouldn't be talking about corruption. But the institutions we have, they are not strong enough to fight corruption.
Okay.
Our institutions, they are not strong enough to fight corruption.
They're not strong enough to fight corruption because it's not their core to fight it. It's not in their place to fight it, or because the institutions themselves are just weak.
It is their duty,
okay,
to fight or to destroy or to go after corruption.
Okay.
But when the people themselves, all these institutions are run by people.
Of course.
And when we say when we mention corruption, it's people that are corrupt. So when the people that are running these institutions are not perfect, corruption will penetrate every single fiber of our country, of our economy. That is how it is. Now, if a leader,
right,
if a leader is perfect,
is he a perfect person?
No, let me say, I think that word is too big for Nigerian leaders, being perfect. Well, if a leader is maybe incorruptible, if he's upright,
okay,
he would like to put people that are upright in power. He would like to put in positions.
Okay.
He would like to put people that are that are also upright in positions, so that he can achieve his goals. But when we have a lot of people, I'm not trying to write them off. We have a lot of good people in Nigeria, Nigerian politicians. We have a lot of them that are good.
Okay.
And we have too many of them that are good that cannot enter. They have sidelined from politics. Are you getting it? But if we have people at the top, they are doing the right thing, and they make sure that the people that are working with them are doing the right thing, everything, you see that corruption will go. The institutions will be headed by those that promote good governance, promote democracy. It is democracy that can protect institutions of democracy, instruments of democracy. These are the things that checkmate corrupt people, that checkmate leaders. Now, a leader will know that if I do this, the law will catch up with me. He will just control himself. But when he knows that the system is weak, he knows how to penetrate, he knows how to buy his way out. He will not stop. Corruption will keep increasing from generation to generation. And that is what is happening.
How do we rebuild these systems?
Well, the best way you can build a society. I'm not calling for revolution.
Okay.
I'm not saying Nigeria should go through revolution. You must not go through revolution. But a lot of countries that are doing well today, they went through revolution. It must not be a violent revolution. Britain went through industrial revolution. France went through revolution, which was bloody. Russia went through revolution, bloody too. Even Ghana here went through revolution. So we need to look at, we need economic revolution. That is what we should be talking about in Nigeria, because Nigeria is a wealthy nation.
Okay.
We need to think about, during the presidential campaign in 2003, Obi was talking about production instead of consumption. Let us think about how to produce, how to build more factories, how to build more companies. And it starts with education. How do we inculcate the right knowledge into the young people? And now say, in so years, we now give a target. In so years, we'll be able to have a lot of companies, a lot of factories. That's what China did. Every election season, or every cycle, their leadership cycle, they always have a target. They always set a target. In so years, in so number of years, we'll be able to achieve this. We'll be able to achieve this milestone. And they're achieving it. China has enough population to power their economy. They started helping their citizens. Anybody that came back from studying abroad, they will wait for the person at the airport. What idea did you bring? The person will say, this is what I have. They will empower the person. Go to China, and China has a lot. China is going to be the far richest country in the world.
When you look at the scope of democracy, like we've been talking a little bit about, after decades of uninterrupted democracy, can we say Nigerians have truly benefited from civilian rule and democracy itself? When you look at the holistic picture. I remember I was so little when I heard about Abacha and Abacha overthrow, and we went, a little bit. Do you think that when you look at it holistically, Nigeria has indeed benefited from being in a democracy?
Well, the only thing we have benefited from civilian rule is this, arrest without trial, detention without trial that used to happen during military rule. If you criticize the government, they will come after you. But
if you look at it, we still have the whole Cyber Act, and usually on social media there is a saying, especially on Twitter.
Free speech. We have to give it to our civilian leaders. Everybody can speak his mind. Are you getting it? Well, it was not like that during the military regime.
Okay.
So everybody can talk now. Everybody can criticize the government without retribution. But
so you know that Sowore was supposed to appear in court today. It's been shifted to October 27th. It was because he did say his mind.
Now, he said his mind. But why saying your mind? You need to be careful.
Right. Because free speech is not free.
So you need to be careful. And then even if they want to hold you responsible, they put you through a process.
Right.
It is the judiciary,
Right.
the legal system that's supposed to determine whether you say something bad or not. But during the military rule,
Right.
it was not like that. Sometimes the person would, most times the people lost their lives because they criticized the government. But right now, everything, people feel free
Right.
to move about.
Exactly.
And now we have elections.
Right.
Those times,
There were no elections.
even though there were elections, representative elections, but the governorship and presidential elections, they were not there.
Right, let's quickly, so much I want to ask about what you're talking about, but let's quickly talk briefly about, security before we wrap up the show. We've had an unending battle for survival. Few challenges reflect Nigeria's post-independence struggles more starkly than security. By the late 2000s, Boko Haram insurgency plunged the nation into one of its darkest chapters. What began as a fringe sect in Maiduguri became a devastating force, killing more than 35,000 people and displacing over 2 million. Its splinter group, ISWAP, remains active today alongside expanding threats from armed bandits in the northwest, farmer-herder clashes in the middle belt, and separatist agitations in the southeast. Kidnappings for ransom has reached an epidemic level, targeting even school children, commuters, and even government officials. From the adoption of Chibok girls in 2014 to repeated mass kidnappings in Zamfara and Katsina, the state's inability to guarantee basic safety has eroded confidence. Now, the paradox of this stack is this. Nigeria has Africa's largest standing army and one of its biggest defense budgets, yet insecurity worsens. Analysts point to corruption, weak intelligence, and abuse by security forces as obstacles. At 65, the country still struggles to protect citizens locked in an unfinished battle against both armed threats and systemic failures. Do you think that insecurity we suffer today is about weak institutions than the presence of armed groups themselves?
If a system is weak, anybody can penetrate it. If the body is weak, any virus can attack it. And that is what is happening in Nigeria.
When you use a term like if the body is weak, now oftentimes the body is weak because the immune system is weak. Let's talk about it via the body. And sometimes food, supplements, medicine that you have to purchase to try to build up your immune system. Given the high budgets for security in Nigeria, why do you think all trials haven't worked? Even though the president did say this morning that we are winning the war against insecurity.
Well, when I got to that, when I heard that we are winning the war, it's a very encouraging statement to make that we are winning his administration, or Nigeria as a whole, is winning the war. It's good to hear that they are winning the war. And we also have to acknowledge the fact that for some months now, we have not heard bad news.
Oh, there has been quite a lot of bad news.
I know right. we have, but the number of bad news we have heard recently is not as big as what we had a few months back.
Do you know that some people were
earlier
killed
this year
in Kwara State just on Sunday?
Earlier this year,
right.
A lot of kidnappings, a lot of herdsmen, a lot of people burning houses in the east, a lot of that, people hijacking boxes.
So you do think we're winning the war?
So I think it has reduced.
Okay.
Maybe people have stopped posting, relaying the news on social media. If you take a look at social media now, we're not really getting that frequently. Are you getting it? So that means the war we are winning it.
Now,
but it doesn't mean.
Now, if I want to draw your attention a little bit to the peacekeeping mission, the peace discussion mission that happened in Kaduna and Zamfara states. Do you think that security agencies and village heads will sit together with bandits to discuss, sign a peace treaty to a way forward if there were no insecurity in these places?
No, that's terrible to hear that terrorists and leaders of a community are
yes.
negotiating.
Right. It happened in Kaduna and Zamfara State.
You don't negotiate now. You don't negotiate. You don't negotiate at this level. But what happened? You need to first of all. Okay, when you hear that a soldier has been killed, a policeman has been killed, if it happens in the east, do you hear about negotiation? Do they use the diplomatic means of resolving the matter? They always want to use force to match force. So at this stage, you need to show that you have the military. When there is presence of insecurity, you need to first of all show that the military is alive.
Are in charge.
But you don't go after the civilians, unarmed civilians. Let the police, at least even if it's the presence of military, first and foremost. Are you getting it? Yeah. Then you now after that, you can use, because in leadership, military force, we have military force, which military force comes is what protects a nation. But how a nation wins battles, resolve conflicts, is through negotiation and diplomacy.
So it's good enough that was employed.
So the first of all, you need to let the military, let there be the presence of military in the place, in the community. Then, if you want to negotiate, if you believe that these are people you can negotiate with, you use diplomacy.
Right.
You want to know why are you doing this, and then what can we do to make sure you are not in this kind of mood again.
Thank you so much for your insight on that report. And this is where we wrap it up on this episode of Atlantic Society Watch. Thank you so much, Mom, for going to visit.
I appreciate you.
And thank you for all the good insights.
Thank you very much.
We are open for sponsorship of this program, jingles and advert placements, news and events coverage, personality, society and political interviews, product service promotion, and commercials. Watch us live on www.atlanticnetwork.tv. We're also on Apple TV channel 205, Limex TV platform, Ufestec platform, Apple TV, Niger TV, and Roku TV. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials. Subscribe, like, and share. Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1. We're on X on Atlantic TV Net. Remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Otaria Benjamin. Stay with us. Up next is International Tidbits.